In this video, I'd like to review the Voicethread and Blackboard Ultra workflow. So I'm going to be talking about the Ultra and Voicethread integration, how to create a link from the Ultra to the Voicethread environment, and how to connect a specific Voicethread assignment to the link in Ultra. Here we are in the Ultra environment. This is a course I'm teaching, Faculty Development Spring 2022. I'm going to put this Voicethread assignment in the Start Here section. I can put it anywhere I want in the course and move it after. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to place the Voicethread where I want it to be in the course. So I'm going to hit this drop down arrow so that the content in the Start Here section becomes visible to me. I'm going to click this plus. I want to put the Voicethread at the bottom. I can put it anywhere where a plus appears, as you see. Let's just put it here. So I click this plus, and I get this little menu asking me what I'd like to add. Voicethread appears in the Tools area of Ultra. Let's click Tools. This is the Tools area. These are all the tools available to me that I can connect to from the Ultra environment. They are arranged alphabetically. Here you can see Voicethread appears twice. Be sure to choose the Voicethread that has the circle with the plus in it. Click on that little plus. Something happened. What happened? Let's scroll down and see. There you can see we've just created a link from the Ultra environment to the Voicethread environment. The default is that it's hidden from students, and then it's named Voicethread. This happens automatically. So let's move our mouse over, and you see two icons, what looks like an ellipses and an up and down arrow. The up and down arrow allows me to move the Voicethread somewhere in the course. I don't like this functionality. As you can see, it moves very quickly, but that's how I would move it somewhere. The ellipses gives us more options for Voicethread. So let's click it. And here Edit or Delete appears. I'm going to select Edit. And here are my editing options. I can make it visible to the students. I can set release conditions. The students have to do something before they can access it. Or I can keep it hidden. I'm going to make it visible. I can add a description. I would type some words here. I will allow class conversations so that all the students can see each other's Voicethreads. And I'm going to create a gradebook entry for this item. Because of the Voicethread Ultra integration, when I create a Voicethread assignment, that item automatically appears in the Voicethread gradebook. So I'm going to create an entry. Once I create an entry, these other options appear to me. What's the due date and the time for the assignment? So I can click this calendar and select the date and then put in the time here. I'm going to grade using points, but you have other options. You can grade with a percentage or a letter grade. The maximum number of points, in this case I'm going to choose 100 because I find the arithmetic easier, but you can choose the number of points that are possible in any increment that you like, in any amount that you like. The category is how the gradebook will organize this particular Voicethread. Is it an assignment, a journal, a test? I'm going to call it an assignment, but before I save it, I want to change the name. I don't like this default name Voicethread, so I'm going to click that little pencil and change the name. I'm going to call this Voicethread Introduce Yourself, and then hit save when I'm satisfied with those changes. There you can see it, Introduce Yourself. You'll notice up here there's the tab for the gradebook. I'm going to click on that tab and see if the Voicethread appeared there yet. There it is, Introduce Yourself. No one submitted it yet, so there's nothing to grade. But once students start completing this Introduce Yourself assignment, I'll be able to see that indicated here. Let's go back to the Voicethread itself. And it's important to understand, at this point in the process, I haven't created the Voicethread yet. All I've done is work in Ultra. I've created a link and a gradebook entry. So let's click this link and find out where it takes us. So here we are in this interface between the Ultra and Voicethread environments. I have a few options here. Where do I want this link to go? Do I want to build an assignment? Do I want to link to an individual VoiceThread? Do I want to have the students see the entire course view? That's all the VoiceThreads in this course, or just take them to the VoiceThread homepage. The most likely choice will be the assignment builder because I want to make a student assignment. These are the three kinds of assignments available for students. Do I want the students to create a VoiceThread of their own? Do I want them to comment on a VoiceThread that I will provide? Or do I want them to watch or listen to an entire VoiceThread? So I want the students in this case to comment. So I'm going to click comment and continue. So here are all of my VoiceThreads. It's a bunch of them. I've been using VoiceThread for quite some time. I have a few options. I can connect to an existing VoiceThread, or I can create a new one. If I choose to connect to an existing VoiceThread, I would just select it, and then it's going to ask me what I want to copy. Do I want to copy all of the comments from this VoiceThread? Do I want to copy only my comments, or copy no comments? Now, if I want to copy only my comments, let's imagine that I narrated a VoiceThread, and I want this new group of students to access that narration, I would click only my comments. If I didn't want any comments, I would click no comments. But let's say that I don't have an Introduce Yourself VoiceThread, so I'm going to create a new one by clicking Create New VoiceThread here. I have a few options for how to do this. The simplest is to add some content from my computer, but I can just record video or audio, link to a website, take a picture, copy a VoiceThread, which I showed you how to do, or go to some external source for content. I'm going to select Add from Computer. When I click Add from Computer, this window appears. I've already created a PowerPoint called Introduce Yourself. It just has one slide. So I select this. That PowerPoint then uploads to the VoiceThread environment. The default is that it's untitled, so I'm going to click this little pencil icon and title it. So I'll call the VoiceThread Introduce Yourself. So now the assignment is called Introduce Yourself, the PowerPoint slide was called Introduce Yourself, and the VoiceThread is now called Introduce Yourself. As I mentioned, there's only one slide from the PowerPoint here, but I can add an additional PowerPoints, videos, other content if I like by clicking Add Media. If I'm satisfied, I click Continue, and I'm shown a preview of what this VoiceThread will look like. If I'm happy with what it looks like, I'll click Continue. Here I'm given a chance to select the participation requirements. That is, what do I want the students to do? So I'm only going to require one comment. That's the minimum. I can also require a maximum comments or an exact number. The same thing with slides. If I want students to add slides to the PowerPoint, I can select a number that's a minimum, a maximum, or the exact number. The comment types, in this case, I only want to allow webcam or microphone comments. So I'm going to deselect those other three options. If I scroll down, I don't want students to add slides to this VoiceThread. So I will unselect that option. I'm going to keep Enable Threaded Commenting selected so students can respond to each other. Content moderation holds off the comments until I approve them, so you can select that if you like. Here are all of the other options that are available. When I'm satisfied, I click Continue. Here I have a final opportunity to change the name of the assignment if I want to, and add some additional instructions to the words. Finally, if I'm satisfied with everything, I click Publish. I get that brief success message. Now I'm back in the Ultra environment. Let's find the VoiceThread. We see it's still hidden from students. Let's check it out first and see if we like it. it brings me to this interface where I can then begin accessing and grading student comments and student comments. So far, no students have accessed it, so there's nothing to grade. I can send a reminder to all of the students by clicking this Remind Students button, and I can email them all automatically and copy myself. I can also edit this message if I'd like to. I would just click Send Message, and everyone enrolled in the Blackboard course would get it. To access the content for the assignment, I just click here, and there's the VoiceThread, and here is the VoiceThread that we created. If I'm satisfied with everything, I hover over Hidden from Students, click on the drop-down, and make it visible. In this example, I've created the VoiceThread and the VoiceThread assignment working from Ultra, not directly in the VoiceThread environment. You shouldn't have to ever visit the VoiceThread environment directly. You can do most of the work you need to do in the way that I showed you. There are other ways to do it, as with most technology. There are many ways to accomplish the same thing, but it seems to me that this approach is pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, please email me at d'agostino@fordham.edu. Thanks very much.